Hello and welcome to Beyond Reality. Today is June 6th and we are on the 6-6 portal. So a really special day. This is a beautiful energy to work with the 6-6 portal. So thank you so much for joining me. Write a little comment below if you can, just letting me know what your portal day vibe is like. We will be getting into a little bit more about like what this portal is, what kind of activation it brings. But first, I just want to remind everyone to please like, share, and subscribe to Beyond Mystic. We love it when you guys hit that thumbs up and when you also share videos with people that you love and people that are in the same kind of like mindset. So thank you for everyone that does that. And I also just want to remind you guys that we have the Astro Woo, Astro and Tarot sign by sign reading coming up. Save 50% with the coupon linked in this little poster. This will be June 23rd and it will enable you to save 50%. It expires June the 12th. So that's coming up really shortly. So I encourage you guys to have a look into that. Really important to look into your sun, moon, your rising, and your Venus sign when it comes to having a look into the Astro sign by sign tarot with Julie, Janine, and Jean-Claude. Some of our favorites. And let's talk about with this 6-6 portal, what this represents. I've written a few little notes down, but essentially, when we look at it, it will be the sun will be in Gemini. So this is about harmony. It's about love, stability, relationships. It's about balance, compassion. It's also a beautiful day for initiation. But with some of the other astrological energies and things that we've got happening at the moment, it's a very intense time. So take this opportunity to use this portal energy to really tap into like your inner self and tap into that stability. I know that a lot of the astrological fixed signs at the moment are going through a really hard time and an upheaval. It is for the best in terms of like the long-term outcome and things. So hold tight, batten down the hatches. It's going to be a particularly kind of like choppy weather for a lot of the fixed signs through summer. If you're in the other side of the world, like over US, Canada, where you're experiencing end of spring and start of summer. For those in my side of the world, over in Australia and the Southern Hemisphere, you guys will be going through a little bit of a harder winter if you are a fixed sign. It's also, we're going to have a huge like Venus and Leo. So if your sun, moon, rising and your Venus sign are in Leo, it is a little bit of a more intense summer for you guys, or an intense winter if you're on my side of the world. A lot to do with like love, romance, relationships and things, which leads me to what we're talking about card-wise. So I have this card, which is from Relationships Oracle, and this is the Sacred Geometry deck. And there's another Sacred Geometry deck that's come up today, but this is a card of sensuality. So really interesting. This is kind of vibing, and the reason why I mentioned like the Leo energy at the moment as well that we have throughout the summer. So the frequency of sensuality reminds us that as spirits in human bodies, we are sensual beings experiencing joy and pleasure from the physical world through our senses. So it really talks about the dance from like that alchemy of the spirit world down into the physical and how we can kind of play it out that way. The other cards that came from my other Sacred Geometry deck, which is called Sacred Geometry deck by Francais Hart, and we have the Taurus energy, which is a reminder to come back to that center point of the heart and that tap into that magnetic energy as well. So this beautiful Taurus field, also can be connected to heart-brain coherence, about generating your magnetic quantum field and aura. And we have this card, which is Together, and we see that it's masculine, feminine balance energy. It is Merkaba. A lot of these cards are connected with relationships and with the Gemini sun energy that we're experiencing at the moment too. The other thing that I've written just in my little notes as well is to talk about the crystal for this week that is really good to use. Now, not only did the crystal of citrine call out to me, you can see this beautiful being. I don't know if you guys can capture this in the camera. There's a little rainbow spirit diva being. So when you have those in your crystals, you can actually meditate and connect with the diva or the essence of that crystal. And you can actually ask them to help work with you to manifest certain things or to, draw on strength, draw on courage. But yeah, this beautiful citrine is connected with joy, prosperity. It also helps boost self-esteem, and it's connected very, very strongly with abundance. So you can put this in the abundance sector of your home. But let's get into like the main part of the reading and see what's coming up today. So we'll just shuffle the deck and let's have a look at what's happening for our soul family and for the collective, particularly Beyond Mystic and our soul family. And I just like to take a moment to thank everyone that pops a little comment in and says hello. I'm sending my love to all of you guys. Okay, so let's see. Oh, there's two. They're showing me between. So interesting. 2 cards extra on the end. So we've got 4, I feel in 2, and then the bonus 2. So straight away, as soon as I pop my hands over the card, I'm drawn to connect with heart chakra. So I do feel it is a particularly bumpy ride for heart chakra energy for this week. Even when I looked into the astrology for like the portal energy for today, and I'm just going to jump back to this. So when we look into the 6th of the 6th, it's Venus opposite Pluto, which is an intense day for thoughts and feelings, which could be hard to ignore. So please take time out, maybe disconnect from social media and things today, guys. Be patient, but prepare your voice, your opinions and values in a measured way. Avoid conflicts. It's likely to escalate. And this is just from the astrology diary for the Southern Hemisphere for this time of the year. It is also Moon in Capricorn energy, which is quite intense as well. So let's flip the cards over. So what we have is an interesting assortment of energies. I'm going to leave the 2 bonus cards until we've talked about the 4. The first one we have is the Hanged Man. Now, for me, this can sometimes be about how can we get outside the current reality or the space that's created our current circumstances. So it asks us to kind of like tap out of that matrix to go to kind of like a higher place or a world beyond. I always talk about this being connected, as Spirit shows me, with the Albert Einstein saying, if we can't solve a problem from how it was created. So with this, we see Jupiter energy come up. It's about like growth and expansion as well, and expanding, I guess, your field or your environment to kind of tap out of this matrix and out of this world. We then have the healing card come up, 4 of Swords. Now, this is truth energy. This is Jupiter and Libra energy as well. With the 4 of Swords, sometimes it is about going into like resting, going into healing, going into stasis. I feel this is really, really important at the moment, and to kind of come back to like this center point. And when we look at it, it's almost like a bit of a Taurus field energy with a magnetic energy around it. For me, it's connected to the Blue Lotus and connected to our inner vision and to DMT and gaining insights in that way. The other card that we have is the Princess of Wands. And for those that watch me regularly, you know that I talk about, the princess with her little wand and she's trying to make the world a better place. Well, part of the lesson in this and part of the lesson in this chaos is learning to kind of push past fears and do things anyway. So it might feel like you're in a stagnant place from this Hanged Man energy where you're in need of healing, where the current circumstances or situation is actually trying to force a transformation and growth. So when we have the Aeon card, which is the card of transformation, and you guys can see the little Hebrew glyph Shin, which is about like fire, but fire representing the breaking down of the old clay pot so that we can form and mold something brand new. So what in you at the moment is the fire that's causing the destruction and causing kind of like the breakdown effect? What is it that you're doing to kind of build all the parts back together? And what is it that you're doing in terms of like goals and vision and things to pull you out of this dramatic transformation? Let's have a look into the 2 kind of possible alternative outcomes. Now, this is really interesting when we look at it as sort of like a juxtaposition or opposites. So we have the Alchemy Art card, which is the integration of duality. It also is a reminder that we are a container. So on the Art card, which, I call Alchemy, we see this beautiful, almost ET-like goddess in a green dress representative of heart chakra with her bare breast. We see here this golden portal portal day, 6 and the 6. So with this is called Ori Malkif, which means the surrounding light of the creator. And it talks about the creator's creation that we flow through. So really think about like your energy as a temple. Think about like everything that you're kind of surrounding yourself with in terms of vibration and everything. What is it that you want to flow through your veins? What is it that you want to flow through you and birth and create? So with this, it really is looking at yourself like that beautiful temple. What can you alchemize? Because we know in order to turn lead into gold, we need to have love. So I do feel there's a lot of self-love and nurturing that's coming up through this dramatic transformational process. On the flip side, we can get cold into other people's drama. We can have mini tower moments. We can get distracted. We can get like mentally lured into conversations or lured into being set up somehow with destructive forces or destructive energies. Sometimes you will see the beautiful Princess of Swords can also be fighting like darker energies, whether it be like narcissists, whether it be, energies mentally that are clogging up space or aura, different things like that. But she is built for beautiful, amazing things. We see her heart chakra energy coming through in her silk kind of Roman outfit with little sandals or ballet type slippers. We see that she's not really made to be in this tower type situation or moment, even though it's in a minuscule thing. She has dragonfly wings. So she's come here to make the world a better, much lighter place. So this is a message, I guess, to not be distracted, to stay on path. Let's have a look for some clarification cards, and I'll flip these straight over. We have Ace of Wands coming to the body. We have the 10 of Swords, and we have the Magician. So for some of you, you might be getting like a greater insight or spiritual synchronization showing you into situations that are coming to an end over this week. So 10 of Swords energy, it is Gemini energy and Mars, and sort of more of like a card in the other deck called Ruin, and we see the Magician coming up. So some situations that might have seemed attractive or might have had a person playing a character that was a facade might see a different insight or a different aspect to them. Just going to ask for some advice around this. And we have the Justice card, the 10 of Disc in reverse, which is a wealth card, and we see the Empress. So for many of you this week as well, it really is looking at the balance of a situation. And with this Justice card as well, it's also known as adjustment, and it can be to do with like weighing the soul against the feather. So having a look at the input and output that you guys bring on an emotional, spiritual, soulful level, as well as perhaps taking a look into financial situation with this 10 in reverse. This also for me can sometimes represent that we're not reaching out, that we're not connecting with enough soul family. So please reach out and connect with your soul family if you feel that this is speaking to you. With the Justice card as well, for me, it is about going from third into fourth, fifth, and higher dimensional energies. So everything that is sort of crumbling or happening for you is happening for best and highest good. We have the Empress card show up here in this situation. So making sure that you're taking your time out, that you're looking after yourself, that you're nurturing. I always see the Empress in kind of like a crystalline type cave. Now, she also represents swan energy and double phoenix energy. So having a look into what you're nurturing, what you're kind of creating within yourself. And we will pick a couple more cards in a second, but I just want to remind you guys as well to please jump on over and like, share, and subscribe. And as you can see, we've got our gorgeous girls here and some of the guys as well, bringing all these beautiful shows to you. So please like, share, and subscribe to Beyond Mystic. I also want to remind you guys too, that if you use the little ticketer just down below, you can save 10% when you book a session with me, whether it is my 1 hour session, 1.5 hour, or the 2 hour couples session. You guys will get 10% off when you use the code Beyond Mystic in all caps on my website. So please visit SOLRETA.com. And as you can see, I'm really about reconnecting you with your soul purpose. And there's a little bit more written information. You'll find like lots of connections on my website and some freebies and things of that sort of nature. So please do go check check it out. I love what I do and I love connecting and reading for my beautiful Beyond Mystic audience. So let's finish off this reading by picking a card from the Syrian Star Card deck, which is a deck I've created. So we have magnetism, which is interesting because we had that come up right at the start with the Taurus vortex energy. So I'll just read to you what it says. I'm a magnet for drawing positive things, experiences to me in my life. So I just want to leave you guys with that beautiful magnetism card. I love you all very much. And thank you so much for joining me. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you for all the likes, shares, and subscribes too. Bye, guys.